Hey, yo, how's it going, everybody? Derek here, getting ready to hop on the dialer for a cold call session. If you're new to the channel, please drop a like, comments on any of your thoughts, comments, concerns as they pop up, and subscribe as well. Uh, Turn on the notification bell because I go live Monday through Friday, at least once a day. I hop on to do live cold calls, live follow ups, SMS campaigns, uh, comping, all the above. Let me know in the comment section what type of content you'd like to see. I'm kind of gathering a list of things here to pre-record so that I can release them as opposed to just going live. I have a little mini series on how to comp that I plan on adding to just as properties come up that are good examples. I also have my virtual driving for dollars process up there as a little three-part mini series. I plan on updating that because I have tweaked it a little bit since I've released that mini series. I am located in California, virtually wholesaling out in Houston, Texas. If anybody is in that market, either physically, located in that market, or is also virtually wholesaling in that market, please feel free to reach out. Either comment something on any one of my videos. I get notified via email if I get a comment on any one of my videos. So I'd love to JV if that's what you're looking for. Help you lock up any deals, help you dispo any deals. Maybe give you a little market insight. I feel like I have a good understanding of the market over there now. Obviously, there's always something to learn, but I'd love to connect with anybody doing business in Houston. Without further ado, I thought I was going to hop on the phone with this gentleman here. Okay, it didn't. It's not turning into something. At first, he replied to my initial text. My initial text says, "Hi." His name is Marcelino. Hey, Marcelino, have you given any thought to parting ways with address? Can we talk about it? Dropped him a ringless voicemail, and he replied saying, "When?" Question mark. I assumed he was talking about when can we talk about it because that was the question that I asked. Can we talk about it? And he said when. I said, "Are you free now for me to give you a call?" He said, "Not at the moment. Sorry." I said, "No problem. What time should I give you a ring?" He said, "How much are you offering?" So he kind of like shut off the "I'm not getting on the phone with you." Now he is pre-qualifying me, so then I kind of had to flip the script a little bit. He said, "How much are you offering?" I said, "It depends on the condition for us. We're looking for something that could use some updating. What can you tell me about it? How old is the roof? Any major or minor repairs needed?" He said, "I've done a lot of upgrades recently, but wasn't trying to sell it. Always open to hear an offer though." So that's like it's kind of a difficult one to respond to because he's entertaining me, right? I mean, he's texting me back, so he does have some consideration. I would just need to know um, what type of work it needs, right, to be able to make an offer. But he's not really telling me. This person said not interested, so I don't. I planned on hopping on the phone with him right when I started this live session, but doesn't look like he is going to want to get on the phone. Now I just need to figure out how to respond to this to kind of keep the conversation going and to continue pre-qualifying him without like typing him novels, right? That's the goal is how do I respond in the shortest amount of, words possible and still get the information that I need to be able to make him an offer because I want to make him an offer, right? Even if it is something that he's not going to entertain, I still want to I want to shoot my shot, right? That's what I've realized too through text. I kind of rounded back yesterday afternoon, rounded back to a lot of people that I had started conversations with. Um, but it seemed like they had high expectations, high hopes, but they hadn't given me a number either. So I, rounded back and I asked those people, "Hey, thanks for talking with me the other day. I mean, did you have a number in mind that you'd be hoping to get for it, just a ballpark, so that I can at least know if I'm in the same neighborhood?" I had like two people. I reached back out to like five people, and I had like two of them gave me a number. Uh, they were unreasonable, so I think I shot one of them an offer asking, "Hey, okay, well, I don't know if I'd be up there, but would you consider somewhere in this range?" They shut me down, and then I went for the realtor referral, kind of tried to pivot, and now that's the first person that I've dropped into my new realtor referral campaign, and that starts off by saying, so I add the tag realtor referral. It puts them into the realtor referral campaign based off of an automated trigger for when I tag them with that. So I tag them realtor referral. It automatically gets added to my new realtor referral campaign that I just created. And that first message in that realtor referral campaign says, "Okay, as an investor, that would be a bit too high for me. However, if the condition is up to par, I don't think that you would have a problem with getting somewhere, in that ballpark if you listed it on market. Have you considered that? And that's that first message. See how they respond, and then if they respond to that favorably, then I'll try to go for the realtor referral. Um, but like in this case, I've done a lot of upgrades recently, but wasn't trying to sell it. Always open to hear an offer though. I'll say, kind of just want to figure out. I need some more information to be able to make an offer. It depends on the condition for us. We're looking for something that can use some. I've done a lot of upgrades recently, but wasn't trying to sell it. I'm gonna say, see, like this guy, like he's not. It's hard, right? This is something that I need to get a little bit better at, and something that I think this is where the skills, generating leads through text, this is where you really need them for people like this. Right. So again, he's entertaining the conversation. He's saying, "Oh, I don't really want to sell. I just want to hear the offer." But he's not willing to give me anything. Right. So now I have to decide, do I just give him a number? Do I just throw a range out just to see how he responds? Anything I throw out at this point, he's going to be like, "Oh, that's way too low." Right. Because I haven't built rapport. I don't know anything about the property. It's just something, it's like kind of a internal dilemma. Do I throw out a number and just keep it pushing because I know he's not going to respond favorably? But then if I throw out enough of these numbers to people like this, I'm bound to run into somebody who's may entertain it. Um, or do I try to push a little further, try to get a little bit more of a pre-qualifying question out of him to see, right? Because he already said he's not interested in selling, so I'm not going to like ask about his timeline. Um, he said he's done a lot of updates, so maybe I can imagine that it's going to just need light renovation, but not knowing much else, I kind of have to assume that it's going to need at least an average renovation. um and then, yeah, timeline, condition, motivation. He said he's not wanting to sell anyways, no motivation there. So at this point, yeah, I might as well just throw out a number. I already ran comps on it thinking that I was getting ready to hop on the phone with him. uh if it needs a heavy repair, I would need to be at like 85,000. Um, Maybe I just pivot and see if I can get a number out of him. Done a lot. Always open to hear an offer though. I'll say I'll say, okay. Well, let me tell you, um, my partner and I are my partner and myself are looking to pick up 1 to 2 more properties before the end of the year. Uh, we can pay cash and buy it as is. Uh, we can pay cash, comma, buy it as is, and close uh, on your timeline. Uh, I'll say for an offer like that, uh, what number were you hoping to get for it? Kind of pivoting and putting it back on him, right? And I've changed my script a little bit and asked for the number. Whereas in the past, I used to say, for an offer like that, uh, did you have a number in mind that you were hoping to get for it? But that is a yes or no question. Um, they're going to say no 99% of the time. No, I haven't thought about it. No, I don't have a number in mind. But when I ask for an offer like that, what number were you hoping to get for it? They're not going to say no. If anything, they can if they really wanted to dodge me, they would say, "Well, I hadn't really put any thought to it," but they either have to answer that question or not. You know what I mean? So for an offer like that one, okay. Well, let me tell you, my partner and myself are looking to pick up 1 or 2 more properties before the end of the year. We can pay cash, buy it as is, and close on your timeline. For an offer like that, what number were you hoping to get for it? I'm gonna go ahead and send that right now. And I sometimes will ask for a ballpark too, which is what I may do here if he answers kind of like not hot or cold, but kind of warm. Like if he answered like, let me put that into perspective. If he were to answer hot, in my opinion, he would actually give me a number. That would be like a hot response. If the number was reasonable. If he were to say, "Oh, I hadn't really given any thought to it. You texted me, give me an offer." That would be super cool. But if he says something kind of in the middle, like, "Oh, I hadn't given much thought to it. I just wouldn't want to give the number out first. I wouldn't want to give the first number. You texted me, I would just feel more comfortable." That's kind of like somewhere in the middle, right? And if he says something like that, then I can almost restate my question and uh, let him know, kind of take the stress off of him giving me a number and say something like, "Oh no, I completely understand. I just wanted to get a gauge of, what ballpark I needed to be in, even if it was just a ballpark figure, a price range that you could provide me, and I won't hold it against you, right? And see if he gives me at least a range, right? Because if he can give me a range and I can maybe be somewhere close to the lower end of his range, then I can see if it's willing to further the conversation. If not, depending on how he responds right now, I'm either gonna give him a number, a price range. I'm either gonna give him a price range, uh, maybe try to set like a future follow up and be like, "Oh, well, maybe later down the road when you are reconsidering selling the property, I'd love to revisit, just stay in touch with you," or just simply put him into the not interested bucket, because at this point he's really not interested. He was just wanting to uh, see what number I was going to throw out. Um, yeah, so keep tabs on him. I'm going to make sure that I have him in the attention pile and not just the replied pile. Um, I have good luck with people named Marcelino. My second deal was a gentleman named Marcelino. "Hey, Derek Joe here. Great video. I'm implementing the Google driving list. Nice. Doing half of that and pulling list on PropStream. Nice. Also, how was text message going for you?" Wow, man. Honestly, I'm just gonna take a step back. That is awesome. That you're doing the driving for dollars list. That's my favorite list. It's the easiest list to call. I'll tell you that much. If you've ever tried calling a list that you pull off of PropStream, or you're a pull from list source or whatever list, um, you know list website, list pulling website, you'll find that calling a driving for dollars list is way easier, much nicer, and it's motivating to continue calling it too, especially because when you call those other lists and you get a "No, f you, stop calling me, why do you keep," that's my favorite. "How many times are you guys gonna call me? Why do you keep calling me?" And it's like you want to so badly say like, "Well, this is the first time I've ever called you," but it's just like, all right, whatever. But driving for dollars list, you'll maybe get a couple of those people every like 100 properties, every 100 contacts you make, you'll get like a few people who say something like that. But for the most part, these people have never been contacted unless they pop up on some other list, right? Like a code violation list for weed abatements, overgrown grass. So they'll pop up on that list and they'll be on my drive for dollars list. But that's awesome, man. Gym shorts. Uh, I'm really that's really cool to hear that you're implementing that. And I think you'll see success with it if you stay consistent. Also, how's text message going for you? It's going really good, man. I haven't really taken it to scale yet, so I don't want to be, uh, you know, prejudging it, if that makes sense. Let me see how many I've sent off total. I just I just finished sending off another 200 right before I hopped on here. Um, in my general, so I've sent off 785. The first list that I imported was like just shy of 1,000, so I have like a couple hundred left to text. I'm gonna finish that off on Monday morning, um, and until then, in the time between now and Monday morning, I'm going to get a new list in there. I'm going to make sure that I'm importing mobile only. I don't know if Jim Shorts you've been watching my other videos, but that's a problem that I've had with that first list. I accidentally imported it with landlines as well. So I've been having to do a lot of manual work as the texts go out. They get kicked back with an error if it's a landline. Let me turn this light on. Maybe you can see my face a little better. It kicks an error back if it's a landline. So I'm having to monitor every single text that goes out. And if it is giving me a landline error, I have to make sure to replace it with the next number in line, and hope that it's a mobile number, because I'm not going in individually and replacing it with the mobile number. I have a trigger set up, some automations where I just add a tag to it, and then it will bring the next number in line up. Um, so I'm excited uh, to get a new list in there that's mobile only, because I know it'll take a lot of that manual, effort that I'm doing right now out of the equation, and it will give me a whole lot more responses, right? So if I sent off 200 today. Um, a good chunk of those were landlines for people that never even got the text, and um, I'm still getting a 25% reply rate with all of the landlines being in there. So I've heard of people getting up to a 60% reply rate. It's not like unheard of. I think that's strong, but not unheard of. So I'm really excited. I plan on dialing it back because I've been slowly increasing the amount of texts that go out. I started with like 60 and now I'm up to 200, just because I want to make sure that I can still handle all of the people who are replying, right? Because right now I'm having to monitor all the texts that are going out to make sure I'm not wasting money sending texts to landlines. And then I'm also having to, reply to the people who are replying back to me. So that's why I've been slow playing it, just like, every day, texting out a little bit more people, um, and kind of playing around with how fast I'm texting them as well. So today I did 2 per minute. Yesterday I did 4 per minute, and it seemed to be a little too much actually, um, for a couple of different reasons. One, I think it was a really good time of day, so I got a lot of people replying. Two, 4 per minute, it was just a little bit too much to keep up with, having to check every single text to make sure I wasn't sending them to landlines. And something else, another factor that I felt. I mean, I could have just gotten lucky too, right? With the people that I was texting, the fact that they replied, right? So to answer your question, it's going really good, but I'm also really excited about making these changes that I'm talking about, importing a list, mobile only, playing around with it, with the frequency in which I'm texting them, stuff like that. Gym shorts, how long you been? Are you just starting wholesaling? Let me know, or have you been doing it and you're just kind of shifting gears, marketing wise, to driving for dollars? I'd love to know that. George says, uh, okay, so this was a realtor referral. Let me read you this conversation. I said, "Hi, George. Have you given any thought to parting ways with address? Can we talk about it?" He said, "Not interested in anything but market value." So I said, "That's understandable. Did you have a number in mind?" Perfect opportunity, in my opinion, to just ask for a number. It's like he pretty much told me a number without saying it when he said, "I only want market value." To me, that's his estimate. That's the Zillow's estimate. And that's what it always sounds like in my head when people say market value. In my head, they're just asking for this estimate. And I said, "Did you have a number in mind?" And he said 235K, and his estimate is $234,900. So it was exactly his estimate. I said, "Okay, as an investor, that would be a bit out of my price range. So this is that realtor referral campaign." So all I did was tag him as realtor referral when he gave me his price. And then it automatically added it to the realtor referral campaign. And it sent them the first text in that campaign automatically right away. And that text is, again, so this is pre-populated. This is automatic that this gets sent out. I didn't type this out. It says, "Okay, as an investor, that would be a bit out of my price range, but if the condition is up to par, I think you may be able to get something close to that if you listed it on market. Have you considered that?" And then he says, not really thinking about selling at the moment. Although he said not interested in anything but market value. So is he interested in selling, but for market value? So to him, I'm gonna say not really thinking about selling at the moment. Uh, I'll say, okay. Um, Would it be appropriate? I've been using the word appropriate. I feel like it just comes across a little bit more kind and genuine, if that makes sense. When I ask if I could follow up, I'll say, Okay, would it be appropriate if I followed up um, sometime early to mid next year to see if anything has changed on your end?" All right, Marcelino says, I wasn't. So just to give you a little context, the last few texts for him, I said, Well, he said, "How much are you offering?" And I said, "It depends on the condition for us. We're looking for something that can use some updating. What can you tell me about it? How old is the roof? Any major or minor repairs needed?" He says, "I've done a lot of upgrades recently, but wasn't trying to sell it. Always open to hear an offer, though." I said, "Ah, okay. Well, let me tell you, my partner and myself are looking to pick up 1 to 2 more properties before the end of the year. We can pay cash, buy it as is, and close on your timeline. For an offer like that, what number were you hoping to get for it?" He says, "I wasn't looking to so haven't looked into it. You contacted me, so figured you had a number. Let me know when you do." So for this one, I'm just gonna shoot my shot. I'm gonna throw a number out there. I'm gonna say because again, this isn't ever gonna be a lead, right? He's not interested. He's just wants me to put a number out there, which I'm not gonna do if I haven't built rapport, if I don't know his pain points, his motivation. I don't know the true condition of the property. I've been doing it for 6 months, closed first deal, and no partners with local wholesalers. Nice, man. I've been doing it for 6 months, closed first deal, and no partners with local wholesalers. What do you mean by that now? No partners with local. You just mean that you didn't JV it and you saw it all the way to close by yourself? Um, that's what I'm getting from that. I think, and that's awesome, man. 6 months first deal. That's probably like it took me way longer than 6 months. That's for sure. I don't think I was giving it the amount of effort that it deserved, but that's great. Now, if you're, I don't think you're still in here. I don't know. I don't see anybody in here, but you could be. If you are in here, let me know what market you're in and how you. I want to know a few things. I want to know a few things. One, what market you're in. Two, how you generated the lead for that deal that you closed. Um, if it was just a straight assignment to a cash buyer and what your spread on it was. I want to know. Rich people talk about their money. Poor people are afraid. It's a mindset. Let me know how much money you made on that if you're comfortable. But I'm trying to make you comfortable, trying to break you out of that shell because, again, poor people feel that they have to hold back and hide their bank account earnings and primarily because they're embarrassed, but two, because they are in that mindset. They're in that mind frame where they feel like, I don't want to share how much I made. La law, la. That's funny. Same word, huh? It's spelled there. Hey, how's it going? What's up, la la? Uh, I'm doing well. How are you? I'm doing well. Tuesday midday for me. I'm on the West Coast out here in California. It's just about noon. Just sent off 200 texts to some more people. Got a couple responses, and I'm going through the conversations now. Appreciate you tapping in. Let me know if you are also wholesaling. Um, and if you are, I'd love to know what market you are in and if you've done any deals. Nothing much. I'm doing good. Good to hear. Good to hear. I'm glad that you tapped in here. We're happy to have you. I go live. If you don't know, I try to go live at least every day, Monday through Friday, sometimes multiple times. I think I went live twice yesterday. I hop on, do live cold calls, which I'm going to do here in a second. I follow up with my leads that I've generated through cold calling or texting. Started to do some pre-recorded videos as well, just as instead of just going live. So love to have you. Yes, I'm wholesaling, just getting started. Nice, perfect. That's I'm really glad to have you then because I'm hoping that I can help. A couple people in here are just starting out, just starting to kind of get their bearings and figuring out the best way to get started. Likely on a low budget. I don't know what your budget is, but when I started, it was low budget. I'm still low budget. So, have you done mobile homes? I haven't personally. Just a little context, a little background on me. I've closed 2 deals. I'm in California. I'm virtually wholesaling out in Houston, Texas. I've done 2 deals. Both of them were single family residents. I have not personally done mobile homes. I know that mobile homes are lucrative though. People do them. There's people who just do mobile homes. Um, I think a few things that you got to pay attention to is one, are you acquiring the mobile home and the land that it sits on? Or are you just acquiring the mobile home? I think that a lot of times people forget to ask that. It's kind of a weird question, but you got to know if you're actually buying the mobile home or if you're buying the mobile home and the land that it sits on. because the land that it sits on, depending on the condition of the mobile home and the year it was built, likely will be more valuable than the actual mobile home itself. So if it's kind of an in the community that this mobile home is on, and there is new construction in the area, again, the value might be in the land. Why do you ask, Lala? Is it Lala? Is it just Lala? Let me know about that. But why do you ask about mobile homes? Do you have an opportunity kind of coming down the pipeline here? I'd love to know. And anybody in here, if you're just joining, please drop a like. Continue commenting on your questions, your comments, your concerns, any recommendations or suggestions on future content that you'd love to see that may help you in your wholesaling journey, especially for those who are just starting out. Let me know in the comments, and please do subscribe if this is kind of the content that you're looking for. I'd love to kind of hold your hand and guide you through the process in those beginning phases that you're in, Lala. Haven't Okay, thanks. That's good to know. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I wasn't looking to, so I haven't looked into it. You contacted me, so figured you had a number. Let me know when you do. Sure. Not knowing much about property condition other than you having made uh, some repairs, I would be somewhere in the range of, again, this is not, I don't recommend this. I'm literally just throwing this out there because he's not a lead. He's never going to be a lead. So I'm just shooting my shot. I'm throwing my number out there. If I shoot my shot enough times, if I give a low ball offer to 100 people, one of them may go for it. Right. Yes, Lala. I'm thinking about getting into down the line. Thinking about getting into down the line. Getting into what now? Wholesaling um, or mobile homes? Sure. Not knowing much about the property condition other than you having made some repairs, I would be somewhere in the range of, oh, damn, switch screens and it deleted that message. Let me retype that. What did I say? I said, okay, not knowing much about the condition of the property other than you having made some repairs, uh, I would be somewhere in the range of, let's say 85. I'm going to say 85 to 115 cash. See what he says. Okay, not knowing much about the condition of the property other than you having made some repairs, I would be somewhere in the range of 85 to 115 cash. Boom. See what he says. I think that's the last person that I needed to respond to in regards to text, which it does look like. That's kind of the only conversation that I've gone. Mobile home. Yeah, man. Uh, I say man, but you may be a female, Lala. I apologize for that. But there's somebody, I'm trying to remember. There's somebody in the industry who specializes in mobile home. Like, you Google it or YouTube it uh, after I stop going live, of course. But YouTube it. I think there's somebody in the industry. I can't remember who it is specifically, but there are players, like I was saying, that do specifically mobile homes. Yes, I am. It's all good. A female. I imagine that's what you were talking about. Uh, cool. I think you may be the first female tapped in here. Uh, that's really cool. My girlfriend is talking about joining us. Once I start to get some business developed here, and it starts to become a little bit too overwhelming, I've always kind of talked about hiring a transaction coordinator to be my first hire. And if you aren't familiar with like what a transaction coordinator would do, essentially, once I get the property under contract, and then I try to find a buyer immediately. So like for my past two properties, that's pretty much what I've done. I found a buyer immediately, and then we just had to wait 30 days, 45 days for the tenant to move and get out, right? So for those 30 to 45 days, all it is like customer service, right? Checking in with the seller every few days to make sure that they're not getting cold feet, because the more time passes, the more they start thinking, the more they start talking to their family, their relatives, their friends, and the more people start telling them, man, you sold for that much? You could have gotten way more, whatever the case may be, right? People are going to start talking about it. So what you have to do is keep in contact with them, even if there's no update, right? Call them every 3 days. Hey, just wanted to check in, give you a quick update. We opened escrow, the files at our title company, and just kind of like bullshit them, honestly. Like, just tell them what they want to hear. So, that's kind of what a transaction coordinator does, and then also communicates with the title company just on like procedural transactional type stuff. And that's like what I've found a lot of people hire first, because that's kind of it's easily outsourced, right? Anybody can hop in and just call the seller, give them an update. Not saying that you can't get better at it being a transactional coordinator, but for me, I would much rather get a contract, find a buyer, and then go right back to getting another contract, and not have to like waste time out of my day just to like keep everybody on the hook, keep the seller on the hook, make sure that the title company's doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? So that's what a transactional coordinator would do. And my girlfriend has been talking about joining me in kind of handling that, because me myself, I think I'm too nice. I want, especially in the early phases here. I know that I'm coming across as desperate because I want the deal to close, right? So, uh, but she, as kind of an outsider, is watching me and is telling me things like, "You just need to put your foot down." Like, what do you mean? Close the door. Okay. What? Out there? All right. All right. So that's cool though, Lala. What I'm wholesaling just getting started. So have you tried single families, or are you just going straight to mobile homes? I'm curious. Let me know. Cause I know that I'm just interested to know why mobile homes, I guess. Um for you, just starting out. It's interesting to me that you are wanting to go kind of straight into that niche of mobile homes. Hopefully it's not fear based. Hopefully it's not you wanting to go into mobile homes because you think that they're going to want to sell more than somebody with a home, or um I'll tell you from experience, the reason primarily really trying single families, it's my second day cold calling. Oh, nice. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, mobile homes are interesting. I stay away from them because there are like nuances to it that you really have to understand. So like you kind of have to embrace the niche, right? It's not something that you can just like pick up and try to do. So it's like you got to know there's a certain year cutoff. I don't know what year that is. I think it's like I don't even want to guess, but there's a year, right, where if the mobile home was built prior to that year, it will not qualify for conventional lenders. Meaning that, let's say you got a mobile home under contract and the mobile home was built in like 1965, 1970. Even if you made that mobile home, even if you assigned it to your end cash buyer, your cash buyer fixed it up and made it pristine, they could not sell it to the typical retail end buyer if that retail end buyer is needing a mortgage loan. So let's say they fixed it up, made it all nice, and they put it on the market, and a family saw it. They said, "Hey, let's move into this. Let's put 20% down, like you typically would for a home, and let's go get the remainder. Uh, let's go get a loan for the remainder at our local bank, right? Our Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo will say, "I'm sorry, we can't give you the remainder, the other 80%, because this mobile home doesn't qualify. It was built before this year." So it's just like little things like that that you really got to know when it comes to like who you're targeting. When you go to pull your list, or when you go to, yeah, just negotiate with people, with sellers who own mobile homes, to like be able to communicate that to them, right? So if that's the case, right, if it's like built before this, then a fix and flipper isn't even going to bother doing all that work to it, because they know that they're still going to have to just sell it to a cash buyer at the end of it all. So what they would likely do for those mobile homes built before a certain year, they are specifically looking at the value of the land, like I was talking about earlier. So if they see, yeah, a mobile home sits on this, okay, yeah, do you own the land? Yeah, okay. Well, even if I fix this up, I couldn't sell it to a retail end buyer who needs a loan. So I'm just going to tear the thing down and build a new house on it if it makes sense, right? Which is why a lot of mobile homes don't make sense because they're old, they don't qualify for a loan even after it gets all fixed up, and there's no new construction in the area, so people aren't even building new houses in the area, which is why you find a lot of pockets of towns and sections of cities where there's just a bunch of mobile homes because there's no play there until somebody takes a risk and tears it down and builds new construction there to kind of set the trend for everybody else to follow suit. It will never That area will never change, or unless there's some type of laws that get changed for that whole pre certain year qualification on a loan, stuff like that. Again, so it's just like a really, I've never taken the time to really dive deep into it and learn the nuances of it, but I know that there are. So if you're going to get into it, just be careful. Not to say that it's not lucrative. Don't want to turn you off of doing it, but just know that there are other things involved that you have to take into consideration when talking to the sellers to set yourself up, because the last thing that you want to do is lock up a mobile home, lock up a contract, and then go to assign it to your end buyers, and then just all of your buyers tell you pretty much what I'm telling you now. I can't buy this. It was built before this. I can't buy this. There's no value in the land. There's no new construction going on. I can't even tear this down and build a new house, right? And that's the last thing that you want. So do a little, I mean, you can find all this stuff out, I think, within a few hours. Just do a little bit of self-education, YouTube, Google, um, and figure out, just narrow down your targeting so you don't so you set yourself up for success and you don't have to learn the hard way like I did on one of my contracts. I learned that location really matters, right? I locked up a contract that was way far out of town, and realized that it was a great deal, but nobody wanted to go that far. Nobody wanted to buy anything that far out of town. So that's like another thing that I learned. Okay, thank you. Of course, Lala. Of course. I'm getting ready to hop off here. My girl just got home. She's gonna do some filming herself, so I don't want to interrupt. But appreciate you, Lala. I hope to see you in future live sessions. Make sure you subscribe so that you get updated and notified. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out when I do go live. This live was kind of uneventful. I thought I was going to be able to hop on the phone with some of my text leads, but they ended up not really being leads. And then I was going to hop on cold call, but my girlfriend just got home. So um, yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I appreciate you tapping in here. Again, I hope to see you in future live sessions. I'd love to just kind of continue monitoring your progress and help out however I may be able to. That's kind of my goal in all this, is just to be able to see some people like Jim Shorts or Lala who are just starting out and start generating some leads and start coming into the live sessions with updates, right? I just got my first contract, just closed my first deal, just closed my third deal, whatever the case may be. So sounds good. Catch you soon. All right, Lala. I'm probably going to be on tomorrow. Try to go live around the same time every day. Not going to text tomorrow. I'm limiting my text messages for Mondays and Tuesdays, and then cold calling for Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So tomorrow I'm going to try my best to go live around this time, maybe a little bit later. I have some plans in the morning, and then maybe transition to some follow-ups too. So until then, appreciate everybody. Till the next one.